Happy Sunday. This one is for the ladies today. Let's talk about the idea of women saying, I help build you for you to be with somebody else. That I do not agree with. I'm sorry. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just Sasha. I'm just me. I'm who I am. I was in an 11-year relationship and ended awful. Still got old residue from that. Still lingering. But let me say this. The one thing I never said in this whole situation was I built somebody up to go be somebody for somebody else. I don't believe that. For me personally, one thing I do believe is that everybody don't belong together. And the trauma comes from somebody trying much more harder than the other. And even sometimes it could go even deeper to somebody emotionally manipulating somebody to stay in a situation they do not want to be in. It go even deeper that when you jammed up in a financial snafu, you stuck with people because of the stability that that has you in right now. Because if you do leave them, you don't know how to survive on your own, or you don't want to go back to where you come from. And it could get even deeper than that, right? So let me say this. For me, and maybe for other people that be like, I can't really relate to that. Honestly, for me, I feel like this. I ain't build nobody up to go with nobody else, right? You better off with that person. You and that person are a better match than you and I am. Because me, where I'm going, you can't come. You showed me in the relationship that we couldn't even get there together. So if we couldn't even get there together and your priorities to me was somewhere different, and this could just be how I see things or how I see things in my situation, is that person will always be a better fit for you. That don't make me less of a woman. That don't make me less of nothing. That don't make me not good enough for you, because baby, that's not even that type of time we on. She's a better fit for you than I will ever be, because I'm not willing to go solo or just not go nowhere at all just to be like I got a piece of man, or just to be like I got a man. I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to put my stuff to the side and go where I want to go in life just to say I got somebody or just to make somebody else comfortable. So if you're not willing to grow with me, then yeah, you need to be with somebody that's able to go your pace. Because while we still here at 11 years and now we not together and I'm going here, or I'm already here even in portions of the relationships and different aspects of the relationship, and you still here, we don't got no business being together. We not. It's somebody pulling somebody else. It's resentment, it's anger, it's hatred, it's I don't like yous, it's it's too much shit. So when women say I built you up, you didn't. You really, he gonna take some stuff into a new relationship trying to cover up who they are to somebody else. And at the end of the day, that's not your loss. It's not your loss. It's nothing wrong with you. You ain't do nothing wrong. You ain't build him up. You ain't build him up for nothing, because you don't even know what he took out of that relationship when you left him, right? I know one thing that bothers a lot of women, and at some point it bothered me, was the stuff I asked you for, you decided to give to somebody else or make the time to do it with somebody else. You got to realize people are who they are. Despite the circumstances, people just who they are. You can't change people. A lot of times these people been like that. They've been those type of people that they don't have no way, or they don't have no idea where they're going. They don't know what's up. And sometimes they do know what's up, and they end up, and they be vice versa. They end up with the wrong person. You understand what I'm saying? And they be with people that have to teach their ass a lesson too. But not to digress, at the end of the day, sometimes you learn everything you had to learn in that relationship. So it's nothing else you needed to learn. So it was time for you to move on. And even though I always say God has a funny way of giving you a chance to dip, he throw you the signs. He want to understand why you ain't catching the signs. And then your nut ass stay. And then you, God, get me out of this. You don't get the choice of how it feel when they leave. I learned that myself. You don't get the choice of how it feel when God got to put his hand in it. You don't get that choice. I always say God gave you the choice before he was like, well, let me rock in here real quick. But let me take over because I gave you a chance. So I always see it as a lesson. You didn't make no big impact on nobody to leave to go to somebody else for them to treat them right. You learned what you needed to learn in that situation at that moment, and God got you up out of there because now he got another mission for you. You learned what you needed to learn with that person you had to learn it with. And that's me. That's where I'm at. That's how I feel. That's my opinion. I'm sure I'm not the only person that felt like that. And yes, some things sting and some things is a little bit more triggering, but healing is not 6 months to a year. Healing is not 5 to 10 minutes. Healing is not getting up under somebody else. Healing is going to take time, and you're going to be triggered because sometimes we deal with people that don't respect you, right? They don't respect you too. You got to really do something to them, but I don't mean it like that. God forgive me. But sometimes you deal with people that have no respect for you, so they go out their way to trigger you to some degree. But at the end of the day, that don't mean you not healed, but that means that you still got a little bit more healing to do. I'm one of those people. I get triggered, but I learned not just in a relationship, in a lot of different situations. I've learned that because I could go from 0 to 10 so fast, I'm the easiest person to get riled up. And so I'm learning for myself to not get riled up. You understand what I'm saying? So even if I am in a riled up situation, I try not to let other people see that. And I'm learning because I'm not fully 100 with that. I'm more in the 50% side. I'll cry to myself, or I'll deal with stuff myself, or I'll call my friends, my god sister, and I'm talking to them. But another person wouldn't see me in that situation, in that light. So like I said, healing is a process. It's not an overnight thing. And sometimes it takes sometimes you need a little bit more healing in certain situations. Me, I always say I need a little bit of therapy because I've been through a lot. But yeah, don't think, and it's never no L when somebody move on to somebody else and somebody go, it's not an L. It's not, especially if you did what you're supposed to do. That's why you always continue to stand on your 10, no matter the circumstances or the situation. No matter how bad somebody want to make you look like the bad guy, you stand on your 10. Because at the end of the day, it won't be an L for you. It just won't be. You do what you're supposed to do in a relationship. That's what you're supposed to do. That's because that's your own experience. You're in that experience. Ain't nobody else in that experience with you. But you equally not that person that they about to go deal with. So you don't know what type of experience they about to have. And everything that glittering gold. And equally, and not saying this to the bitter girls that's gonna be like, yeah, I know. I'm saying it being realistic. You probably not the person for them either. You probably just not. You understand what I'm saying? Because some of y'all be with people that's moving up, and you don't want to make a change. You don't want to make the changes. And this is why if you looked at my last video, because I only got 3 good long ones. But my last video was talking about being honest with what you're looking for and what you want. And the issue is people want the man or the woman that's doing this and doing that and handling this and handling that. But how are you going to deal with them when you have them? It's like, what do I feed this? What do I give it to eat? So you can't want something. You can't acquire something that you can't handle. Men have a big tendency of doing that too. They want to acquire what they can't handle. And then they're like, well, what we feed it? Oh my God. Like, you know what I'm saying? And women do the same thing. So sometimes you're not for that person either. And when your goals is not aligned, it ain't going to work. It's only going to cause stress and issues. If you're not willing to grow and willing to learn and willing to walk away, you're gonna find the same situations in different bodies. Same situations, because it's always going to be something here that you had to learn about yourself. Is character development. Okay? And Sometimes once you learned what you learned, you had to move on. God got you up out of there. Or they learned what they learned. God got them up out of there. So you never really know. So don't look at it from that aspect of you built anybody up to be something better for somebody else. It ain't even to that. It's now, let me say this. Now, I don't know if we still in the olden days. I ain't putting nobody through nobody's school. You want to go to school, you better pay for it yourself. I'm just honest. I'm just out there with it. I ain't really doing too much of all that. But unless in that situation, then I'm like, after you done help somebody get their degree and then they want to flander on with somebody else out of it, I had me hot. But I'm just saying in a general aspect, yeah, you had to be in that experience. You had to handle that experience. You had to learn what you learned in that experience. And it was your time to move on. Either you're going to grow together or grow apart. And it's okay. It don't always feel good. It don't. I'm going to be honest. It don't always feel good. But, you know, at the end of the day, you rather be miserable, not going where you want to go, not moving at the pace you want to move, not getting to the goals that you have set for yourself, or you rather stay with somebody that's content where they at. For me, I'm glad it was over, because I'm like, you don't want nothing else. You don't want nothing else. And then on top of that, you want me to do all the work and you don't put in no work. That ain't gonna work. That just wasn't gonna work for me. So yeah, I didn't like how God ended it. But like I said before, you had a chance to make the change. If you don't make the change, you allow God to make the change for you. You don't get the choice of how it work out. It's an unfortunate situation, but that's just how it is.